Hey guys, Jeff from Whirlwind Family Farm, and trellising cucumbers or tomatoes. Of course, indeterminate tomatoes can be up to 8 to 9 foot tall, so you don't want those laying around. They've got to be trellised. If they're determinate tomatoes, of course, they're going to be smaller in a bush and they're not going to be going up. But today we're going to be looking at cucumbers. I'm in a high tunnel structure, so I want those going up. They're easier to harvest. I don't want them spreading all over the place. I want them managed well. Also, if I need to prune them, and you can see behind me where I've started the trellising of these. We're going to just take a couple of easy steps here. Let's look at it. Very simple to do. If you have an outdoor structure where you can trellis these off of, that's a great way to go as well. So let's take a look. Nylon string. Do not make the mistake I made several years ago of getting rope jute, which with time can get brittle, get wet, and break, especially when those cucumbers start to get a lot of fruit on them, a lot of weight, and that jute will break. And you'll actually hear the sound. I've heard it before, and it's not a fun sound when you hear one of your trellises break. So, good strong nylon that's going to support a lot of weight. You want to line it up. Whatever you're tying off to your structure, you want to make sure it's lined up right over the top of your plant. Sounds simple, but sometimes we just don't realize that. It needs to be perfectly right there. And then let's go to the next step, which is really simple. Our next step, in which we already have our nylon string, which is strung from the top, comes down off of our structure, and then down to the cucumber plant itself. So how do we attach this string so we have a plant that's going to make its way upward? And I use trellising clips. They can be purchased at a lot of different vendors, locations. I get these on Amazon. There is also a type out there that is compostable. They'll break down at the end of the season. Sometimes I'll reuse these if they're still good, but it's very simple. This clip, you can see the place where it's designed to go onto the string and then clips around the plant. I'll show you one here that's already done. We'll just zoom in and you can see how the nylon actually fits into a clamp, and then you go in and just clip those onto your cucumber or your tomato plant if it's indeterminate. Of course, as these plants get taller, there's a couple of ways you can go. I like to continue to use the trellising clips. I'll move them up as we get a little further up this plant. And of course, the tendrils off of these cucumber plants will grasp around the string, what you want it to do, but also they may need that support of putting a clip ever so often. Another method is that growers will take and gently take this line and wrap the plant around the string and let it swirl as it moves up. That's another option. I think that's fine. It works well. I've done that before. I also like the clips just because it's a little bit better support. So very simple. Simple this year whenever you're thinking about those either tomato plants or your cucumbers that really need to grow upward. Makes it far more simple to harvest. You've got that support. And again, use nylon string that's going to be tough. Through the humidity or any wetness, they're not going to break like a jute string would. Simple tools you're going to need when you do this. Just a ladder that's going to be able to get you to your structure, which is makes sense. You're going to need a good strong nylon string. Of course, I like to use the clips to put on the plants, those trellising clips. Of course, just bring a knife with you, something where you can cut that string easily, and you're good to go. It's pretty simple. One other little tip is at the end of my nylon string, I like to tie off a knot, just so if it starts to get frayed a little bit, it's not going to go above that knot. And then I also take that string right down to the base of the plant. That way, you know you've got plenty of room, whether the plant is small or tall, you've got plenty of room to trellis on. So pretty simple steps, and that's how you move that process up. Thanks again for choosing our channel. This is Jeff with Whirlwind Family Farm. Hope you got some good tips out of the trellising today, whether it be cucumbers or tomatoes, and it's just going to make it a little bit easier as you get those plants to move upward and grow upward. We're going to have a lot of content this summer as we go through, a lot of good tips, so you want to make sure and see every one of those to help you in your garden. So hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications so when we have a new video, you can check it out. Talk to you soon. I'm Jeff from Whirlwind Family Farm.